Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I will be showing you the best settings you can use inside of the First Descendant to improve the game's performance and to increase FPS, particularly if you are on a low-end computer. This video will come in very handy. Now we are going to start by launching up the game from our desktop. So this is what the game looks like without changing any of the settings. As you can see, it's just overall a little bit choppy and there's a slight frame drop and a little bit of lag. So how we're going to fix that is by pressing the escape key on the keyboard and heading over to the options tab. And you need to come inside of graphics from the top here, and there's a bunch of options and stuff that we need to disable and enable inside of here, as well as modifying a few of these graphic settings. So first up at the top here we have ray tracing, which will be set to off by default, and you will want to leave this switched off and then come down to this performance section, and straight off the bat we want to disable VSync by turning it off, as this will allow your system to render frames as fast as possible. Maximum frame rate, we also want to change this to unlimited. The only time I'd ever consider capping the frame rate is if you are running background software like a screen recording app and the app is struggling in the background, but for the majority of users, you are going to want to have this set to unlimited. Then at the top here, we have this additional options tab, and we're going to come into the drop down, and there's a bunch of different upscaling technologies that can be used to improve the sharpness of our game. Now, if you have a NVIDIA graphics card, I'd suggest selecting NVIDIA from the list. If you have an AMD graphics card like me, then you can select AMD from this list, and so forth. Then by selecting one of these additional options, there will be now some new options available for you. And the first thing is this FSR option, and this is going to be used to define the quality of our upscaler, and the best selection here is going to be quality, and that way we have a nice mix between enhanced visuals and a nice boost in performance. Then below this we have NVIDIA Reflex Low Latency. Now if you do have a NVIDIA graphics card, you're going to want to set this to enable boost, but obviously if you have any other graphics card than NVIDIA, you can just leave this to off. Frame generation, we're going to leave this off, and then we can come down to the advanced settings tab. And for the majority of these options, we're just going to be lowering them in general. So for example, visibility, I'm going to have set to low. Anti-aliasing, I'm going to have this set to medium. Post-processing, we want to set to low. Shadows can be set to low. Global illumination set to low. Reflections low. Textures, we need to set this to medium. Effects, we're actually going to have set to medium. Vegetation, you want to set to low. Shader quality set to low. Objects low and physics low. And this last option at the bottom here is motion blur, which we want to disable. I'm not actually too sure why this isn't disabled by default, but you definitely want to have this switched off. Then head over to display from the top here, and you need to ensure that display mode is set to full screen. So make sure this is set to full screen and not borderless window mode or window mode. It's really important this one's set to full screen. Field of view, I like to increase this slightly to about 100. And then we can come over to the keyboard and mouse from the top here, and you can also adjust your mouse sensitivity in here. And the only thing I like to change in here is I like to lower my aim sensitivity slightly. And then we're going to come over to gameplay from the top, scroll all the way down, and you'll see this option at the bottom here, select grappling hook correction guide. Now currently by default you'll have this red dot selected, but I think this is quite difficult to see, so I'd recommend changing this to something just a little bit more visible. And then we can press the escape key to save these changes. And now as you can see, it's running a whole lot smoother and quicker, and it just feels better when I'm playing. And that's it guys, by following all of these steps, you'll now have the best performance settings inside of the First Descendant. If this video did help you, then please consider dropping a like and subscribing. Until next time.